Life is a journey, not a destination. Welcome to Broken to be Blessed Network, where strong, bold, powerful men will share their journey of inspiration and motivation. Life is meant to be lived, but it depends on one's own experiences that will shape their own path. For this reason, they will leave with you their own strategies used to overcome life's challenges. I'm your host, Samantha McNeil. Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest, Winston Jarrett. Born and grown in a humble community in Montego Bay, St. James. Winston attended the Sir Howard Cook Primary School and Cornwall College in the parish until he matriculated to university, where he successfully completed his Bachelor's of Law degree and subsequently attended the Normal Manley Law School. During his tenure at the law school, he served the students' executive as the moot and library chairman and participated in several international moot court competitions. Mr. Jarrett currently is an associate attorney at law in the legislation and ADR department with one of the leading firms in Jamaica. An avid believer in nation building, Winston participated as part of the Jamaica Bar Association Social Welfare Committee and participated in activities organized by the Children's Outreach Program at NWLS. Winston served as a cultural ambassador with the Green Heart International as one of the representatives from Jamaica. In pursuit of his desire to contribute to the strengthening of local law and practice relating to public law, social welfare, and the citizenry with international best practices, Winston wishes to pursue a Masters of Law program in international human rights law. A travel enthusiast, Winston enjoys viewing new countries, visiting new countries, and spending time with his family. In his spare time, Winston enjoys studying the Bible, learning new languages, and experiences different culture. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to Broken to be Blessed Network, Winston Jarrett.
Oh, Winston, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good myself. I'm so happy to have you sharing your journey with us on Broken to be Blessed Network.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. And as per usual, before we get into the journey, we like to get to know our guests a little bit. Our audience, they're waiting. So they want to hear what's your
Mhm.
favorite food and what do you do for fun?
So my favorite food would be some white rice and curry goat, and then what I do for fun, I like swimming, so I swim very often. I also I play video games, so that's there. And just talking to people, socializing, going out, hanging out with friends. Yeah, that's basically what I do for fun.
All right. Thanks for letting us know what you do for fun,
Hmm.
even though it sounds so prim and proper, but we'll take it. I guess as we get into the journey, we'll lighten up a little and we won't seem so formal because I have one burst of energy and the audience know that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
uh, So we want to get to know, get into your
Mhm.
journey.
Yeah.
What was your life growing up as a child?
So as the introduction said, I started out in a very humble community. You know, not from a wealthy background or anything like that. Matter of fact, I'd probably say I'm from like a very poor background. Um, Growing up, from a very big family as well. My mom had 9 children, so there was 9 of us. And you can imagine one pot, you know what I mean? So that was difficult, but there was fun times, meeting people in the community like yourself, growing up with all the people around me kind of made it a bit more happy and enjoying, you know what I mean? So yeah.
All right. What were your do you have recollection of what your infant stage of life was in terms of schooling? Do you have any recollection of that?
Infant, yeah, I guess I started out at DRB Grand Basic School, very normal as many other people. I went on to Howard Cook Primary. At that point, I I think I found my interest in education. The motto of that school was education is the key to success. So, going there, always reciting that, they kind of like knock it in his head. Education is the key. Um, and it was also a traditional school, so my siblings went there as well. So it was just the order of things. I was gonna go there. So, but interestingly, growing up, I think one of the most devastating things to happen in my entire life happened while I was in primary school. So that would have been like a very tough time in the end for me, before even starting, even really recognizing a lot about life, just because I think a lot of just going to primary school is really learning to interact, learning what life is, you know what I mean? So um, you don't really know much. You don't really know that you just know that you're going to school and you're trying to, and you have your family, and that's it. So you don't really know much then.
So what we were I thought you were going to tell us what's that event to keep us in keeping
No.
us in suspense. So go ahead, lead a charge. I'm listening. What has it
Okay.
been? What was the hardest thing?
Yeah. So basically, in primary school, just trying to maneuver different learning stages in life. I believe it was 1 week after that my GSAT result that I would be going to one of the best schools in Western Jamaica, Cornell College, that I was at school and I was waiting patiently, um, for my father to come and pick me up from school. That day, he didn't come to pick me up from school. Um, I waited there in my neighborhood for about 3 hours.
Mm.
Um, because he's always there. So
Yes,
he
yes,
was coming. You know what I mean?
yes.
It doesn't matter that we were there for 3 4 hours. It was just like he's coming.
Yes.
He knows he has to pick us up, so he's coming.
Yes.
But
Yes.
on that day, he wouldn't come, and I got news later on that he met in a car accident, and I was taken to the Cornell Regional Hospital in the parish. And at that point, I heard that he passed away and he died. So I was 12,
Mm.
12 years old.
Yes.
Nothing. I know nothing that was going on in life.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, primary school. you're just trying to. I don't even know what you're trying to do at this point.
Yes, yes.
You you don't know anything that's going on, and it's just like the person that was so important in your life was just like you were just being told that they'll be there no more,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it was very hard, very difficult. Um, and that at that point, um, my mom, a single mother, had became a single mother with all of us. So though it was very difficult, I wasn't even sure like what am I going to do, where am I going to go, you know, and it was very, I don't even know how to put it in words, but
The
it was
word,
just like
yes, yes.
a very confusing situation.
Mm-hmm.
A very confusing. As a child, I felt confused and lost.
Mm-hmm.
I remember wanting to go to school to pretend like everything was normal,
Yeah.
right? I
Mm-hmm.
remember just wanting to go to school to forget about it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But my body wouldn't allow me to
Mm.
because I was sick inside.
Mm.
I was throwing up. I was like literally sick. I was
Mm-hmm.
sick from all the crying. I was sick inside, and it was just like it was such a confusing place, as I said, because it's just like
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what you want to do. You know, you feel helpless. You feel hopeless. You feel like, what am I doing, or what is happening in this life? You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, as I said, things became very, very much more difficult for my mother. She had at that time three of us in high school because I just passed my GSAT. I was leaving grade six, going into grade seven. Um, one of my sisters was already at high school in Montego Bay, and then the other one was also at that same high school. They were at grade like 9 and 11 at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine everything was very, very difficult just to afford things.
Yes.
I remember vividly going to the school, Cornell, for the first time, and we were supposed to pick up a package. We were supposed to pick up the school package because that's what they give you when you're ready to go to school. But after the summer that we had just had, you know, uh, burying my dad, and not only that, but he passed away with two other persons, right? So we had to. So my summer that year was filled up like going to different funerals,
Mm-hmm.
and then I remember the school saying we should collect our school packages. So my mom and I got up the day, got dressed, and went to school to pick up the school package, right? Um, we got there, and they told my mom that the package was gonna be for 5,000 Jamaican dollars.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a lot of money. No, it may not be a lot of money.
Be
It may
that,
not be a
yeah.
lot of money right now.
Mm-hmm.
But then, when they said it was for $5,000,
Mm-hmm.
I remember my mom being like, "Whoa,
Mm.
that is expensive."
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that is just like a lot of money because we couldn't find it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was so hard. It was very difficult, and it was just like we couldn't find it. We couldn't find the money to pay that. And and of course, My mom had to move mountains to find the $5,000 to
Yeah.
pay for the school package. And in that moment, I knew that this journey would need to be worth it.
Mm.
I I couldn't go to school. I couldn't waste time at school. I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't be somebody who came out of school without anything
Mm.
because I couldn't afford it.
Yes. Wow. Mm. That's
And
powerful.
so going to school, I I made sure that every day counted.
Mm-hmm.
Every day I went to school, I was learning something new. Every day, even though it was hard, it was difficult, it was tough, it was very hard.
Mm-hmm.
I made sure that it doesn't matter what was happening around me. I couldn't afford to waste my time at school. It was too expensive to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to school. I did as much as I could. I think I tried to remain as focused as I could. Uh, Mind you, that during this time, there was different things happening in the community. You know what I mean? Like that was a whole different show that was going on there. You know what I mean? And having to look at everything that was happening in your community right around you, you know, still having to put that aside, then can't afford to go to school and still having to put that aside and go to school and still do your work like nothing is happening.
Mm-hmm.
It was it was just a situation where it was just very overwhelming, and I think I see how difficult life has been and life was, and I had to constantly compartmentalize things. I had to constantly um, deal with home when I'm at home, deal with situations when they arise, try to make the best of every single situation. You know what I mean? Trying to see the bright light, to see the light. You know what I mean? And I had to learn very early that look for the bright sides. You know, it's hard, but there is something good in everything. And I try to look for what was the good. What was the good? What was good about it? And I mean, it could be something bad that happened. I try to say what was good about it. You know, and I think I try to find the good, and I try to hold on to the good. Despite of everything that's going on, I find the good and I hold on to it. You know, so yeah, I went to school and I just did what I could. You know,
Wow. Uh, I tell you, you have heard the term that you never know how strong you are until being strong is what is placed before you. That's the
it's your
only
only
option.
option.
The
Yeah,
only option.
yeah.
And just sitting here and listening to you, and know we can disclose that we are from the same community and would have been experiencing what you would have been experiencing for yourself, because as a community like that, as we were really in close like family, everybody would be know everybody and know what's happening in their family and all of that, and knowing your father and know how he loved his children and he went all out. And even when you mentioned that, that even though he was 3 hours late, that he was gonna be there, because that's him. He is gonna show up. It doesn't matter how long or whatever he's coming. And to be shattered like that as a child, it was shattering for everybody. But just sitting and listening to you, and I tell you, you know, we can say you, as we mentioned, the strength that had to come out from a situation like that, and how tough it was and how hard it was. And I know you say what your drive was, and I just want to highlight that you mentioned that then, there and then, you knew that education would have to be the vehicle that you're gonna jump in, and you are gonna steer even when it's turning, when it's rumbling, when it's even going upside down. And I just want you to take us into what the journey was, and even though you had to fight, what were some of the accomplishments that came out of, what were some of the good that came out of that painful traumatic childhood experience, when you had to hold on that, hey, this is now my vehicle, and this is how I'm going to steer myself into my future towards where you are now.
I think my my dad was always big on education, right? He's always been one to push us into like stay at extra lessons, join this, you know. So so I realized that, and when I passed to go to Cornwall and he got the news, because he knew I was going to Cornwall for 1 week, he was so excited. I remember, like when we got the news, he picked me up from school that same day. Took me out for lunch, and we celebrated that I was going to Cornwall. And he made it clear, that it was a very good opportunity that I was getting to go to Cornwall. And so going to Cornwall, I recognized that I was given something that a lot of other students are not given, a lot of other children are not given, you know. And that is that you have access to an opportunity to get a good education, you know. So I couldn't waste it. Um, I left Cornwall with 12 CSE subjects, uh, 10 with grade ones. I also had or did 10 CAPE units, 6 are with distinctions, and after Cornwall, I graduated and went to the University of the West Indies. Um, at the University of the West Indies, I was on the dean's list. I was also awarded in second year for being the top performer in Caribbean human rights law. I I also received the award for Define the Odds in third year in 2020. And after that, I went on to Norman Manley, where I still had that same drive, knowing that I have to work, I have to work, I have to work. I don't get the luxury. I don't get the time to relax. I have to do it. I have to work. And I went to Norman Manley. I served on the student executive. I also did my very best there. Graduated with my LEC. Um, even things became more difficult when COVID came. We had to transition to a whole trial advocacy program online, and so with that, even I had to adjust my way of learning, adjust my way of thinking to kind of cope with the existing reality that we were in. And I completed normally. I was called to the bar, so now I'm a practicing attorney at law. And that was basically what my academic success looks like.
Journey. What law? I don't know much about law, so tell us what law are you practicing, and who, if we can get ourselves some lawyer, a lawyer for ourselves, and all of those things.
But I mean, right now, just starting out, I am a general practitioner, so I do like everything basically because I work as part of a firm. So, so I really do what is assigned to me. So I don't have like a specific area of practice or a specific specialty as yet.
Okay.
You know, that takes more study, you know, but
Okay.
yeah, so now I do everything really basically.
So tell us what is everything, because we are novice to what
Everything,
it is.
family law,
Mm-hmm.
commercial law, employment law. I also do personal injury. I do property law and company law. So yeah, everything tort law, of course, because that's more common. But yeah, everything really.
Okay. Uh, how was your family support during all of this phase?
I mean, that's a very good question. You see, but one of the things is my family. I think they did as much as they could. And they were right behind me, 100%. You know, even if it was just there to cheer me on and scream out my name at graduation or you know anything that they could do, they did. You know what I mean? Um, of course, um, I recognize that their contribution would eventually have to be very limited to the extent that law school wasn't cheap. You know, law
Mm-hmm.
school came with a whole barrage of financial restraints. You know, so um, but they were there. They were there right through supporting me. They were there cheering me on any way they could. They provided assistance. Um, One of my sisters used to send me lunch money, you know, to make sure that while I'm at university, I'm not starving. So, as I said, they were there 100% of the time, making sure that, you know, their support was felt. And I mean, and I think that's one of the biggest um, ways I was able to really cope with everything that was going on. It was knowing that I wasn't alone. You know, it was knowing that despite everything that was happening, my family was there. You know what I mean? Despite the fact that people may not like me, things may not go as planned, I may be disappointed. Um, and it's important, they were never disappointed in me, you know. Um, I think, well, it's just like every little thing I did was always so magnified. It was just like, whoa, you got a 80 in your test. That's so good, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I would go home sad. Like I'd go home like tragically sad because I'm just like, I literally did a test today and I got 80. That was like the 15th highest grade in the class. You know what I mean? So it's just like I'm just like, whoa, I'm so sad. You know what I mean? And then I get home, and my family hypes me up for some reason. You know, it's like, whoa, you did that test and got an A, and I'm just like, no, I said I got 80. I got 80. You know what I mean? Like people get 90, 95, 90. And it's just like everything you somebody got every grade, you know what I mean, above me. So it's just like, but they're just like, you did so good, and I'm just like, whoa, So even when I didn't feel like it was a big thing, for them it was always a big thing. and that kind of propelled me into doing bigger things, trying to make everything more correct, or because I just wanted to see the excitement to get their approval, like, wow, you really did awesome this time, you know what I mean? But every time I went, it was always just like, wow, you did good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that was always a good thing for me. I feel like having my family around me, having so many family, you know what I mean, also kind of pushed me and carried me to where I am today.
Great. I'm going to do something that is very deep. It can be therapeutic.
Hmm.
Uh, the thought came to me, and as I've mentioned before, we came on set that Broken to be Blessed Network is that place where we provide inspiration, motivation, and testimony, but it's also a place of therapy.
Hmm.
And as a counselor and as a life coach and as a mindset coach, I don't think I can take that off. I just have to be me, and even while I sit and I listen with everything
Hmm.
as though I would be in a therapy session. And I'm going to lead you into this part now. You lost your dad at a very critical stage, as you mentioned. He in couple hours he was just taken away from you, and you never get to talk to him again. You never get to hear. It was just like that. And I'm going to lead you to this now. There's a technique in counseling that is called the empty chair, where you use a chair and you use the chair to represent the person that you would want to express to. And right here on Broken to be Blessed Network, I'm asking the question and I'm also allowing you in that therapeutic space to talk directly to your dad. What would you say to him now that you knew how big he was on education? You know how supportive he was. You know how much he wanted you to be where you are today. And you have pushed without him being there for you emotionally, psychologically, financially. What would you say to him right now, today?
I think I would say
Talk to
thank
him.
you.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
Thank you because what you did was you prepared me for life. You used to take me to church, and so I know that you are you are perfectly fine. You're good. You're resting, and I'm happy. I'm happy that you got that peace, and you prepared me for life's journey. It was rough, but you really you made me strong, and because of that, I was able to do as much as I could to make you proud. I I really worked hard to make sure that what you have given me was never in vain, and that what you have taught me was never lost. I worked hard to make sure that your legacy would be forever entrenched in not just me, but my generations, your generations. I worked hard to make sure that you were proud of who I am, and I know that you are proud of who I am because you made me who I am. You taught me right from wrong, and you taught me what was important. You taught me to value my education, and you taught me to value my family. You taught me everything that I needed to know from such a young age, and I'm very, very grateful for everything that you taught me. I miss you very much. I miss you every single day, and I can't wait to see you again.
What would you leave with someone who might be on the similar journey, who the odds may seem to be against them, and it's just hard? Life has been difficult, shattered, just hard. What can you leave with somebody who is at that stage that you have been and still maybe on that journey right now? What tip, what encouragement, what empowerment can you leave with somebody who will watch, who may be on similar journey and just needs somebody who have walked a very tough and hard and emotional path to tell them something that will empower them?
The first thing is that you are not alone. If you don't have family, you're still not alone because I have been through what you are going through, and there are many people like us who have been through what we went through. So you are not alone. You are never alone. And because you are never alone, it means you are strong. You are stronger. So what you're going through is hard, but at the end, you will, you will find hope. You will find, you will find faith, you know, go through the stages, go through the phases, but you're not alone going through them. And at the end of it, you will find hope. Make a plan, ask for help, rely on the people around you who you can count on. Trust God. He has a plan for you. He has a plan for your life, and He is working to make your life perfect. Believe in it, trust it. Go through the phases, and you will see the sunshine. Don't give up. Don't be dismayed. Don't be saddened, and don't lose hope because your day is coming. It's right around the corner. It's coming. That's what I would say.
Thank you so much for such a touching and inspirational encouragement. And thank you again for sharing on Broken to Be Blessed Network. How are you feeling? I hope I haven't made you to take you down a path that you didn't want to go, but I hope it's a little therapeutic. How is it for you?
And I think, you know, situations, things that you go through are never lost on you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it always will stay there. It always will serve a purpose. But you have to make sure that it motivates you. It motivates you to be your best self.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even being reminded, you know,
Mm-hmm.
this is like a reminder, you know, where I'm coming from. What do I want to be? You know, what have I gone through to be here and where I want to go further? You know, this is like a revitalization of the drive. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you still have further to go. You know, don't let life setbacks affect you. Still push through. You are strong. You know, so I feel like this is a very good reminder of the strength that I have. You know, sometimes, and it happens very often, that we feel so bothered or so held down by everything around us
Mm-hmm.
that we forget how strong we are.
Mm-hmm. So
You
true.
know, sometimes we have to really be reminded. You know, one of my favorite songs is actually the song that says, "Remind me, dear Lord." You know, like it says, "Roll back the curtains of memories."
Mm-hmm.
Because we are humans and we forget things.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
so true.
we forget some of the things that we have been through and how we got out of them and how strong we were for getting out. You know, and so you might have a little problem right now. You know, a bill not paid, and you're stressed out. You know what I mean? You're at your wit's end because it's just like, you know, you feel like life is so tough, but it's just like you've been through greater things. You know, you've been through greater things, and this won't hold you back. You know, so I feel like this was a very timely reminder. You know, maybe it was God sent. God is holding back the curtains to remind me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very grateful.
Awesome. And as we have mentioned before, that sharing with your loss, grieving with you over the years, I'm
Mhm.
so happy to sit here and to share and to share in the joy and
Yeah.
the happy moment just as well as the sad and the grief at the
You,
moment of
you,
grief.
you
I'm
know,
so happy.
interestingly, um, like my community had a lot of bad ways, but I feel like the community also played such an important role in me, like getting past, you know, everything that would have happened because I could feel the support. You know, I could feel the camaraderie. I could feel the love for my father, and that sort of empowered me, kind of gave me peace. You know, so I could feel it very vividly. You know,
Yes, yes,
I could feel like the energy around me that
Mm-hmm.
was saying, you know, go forth, you know, be strong.
Yes,
And I
yes.
think it encouraged me and it pushed me even further.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true. Your dad was an awesome person, very. And just sitting here and looking at you, you reminds me of him
It's
so much.
funny
That
growing up,
that
everybody,
forehead.
I mean, everybody says it every single day, every single,
Yes, the eyes, the
yeah,
forehead,
every single,
the
when I
eyebrows.
was like 4 years old, I think everybody has been saying it. And I don't think it's gonna end anytime soon.
No, you have a little bit of your mom, but your dad stands out more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, yes. So It is so wonderful to talk with you and just to have you
Yeah.
share and here. And before we go, I just want to share with our viewers your photo journey.
Don't embarrass me.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Wonderful young man with a nice tone of voice. When I heard him coming on, I'm like, ooh, what a voice. Oh my God. So cute and nice. Oh my God. Thank you again for sharing and for connecting. I'm really happy and I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time
Yeah,
and
for
your
sure.
effort.
Thank you
Thanks
for
a
reaching
lot.
out.
Thank you again, viewers and subscribers. Thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends and your family about Broken to be Blessed Network because we're building a great network over here. Bye
That
bye.
is.